How am I going to pay for rent? How am I going to pay for my bills? How am I going to pay for food? Okay, I'm going through this dark time right now. I'm broke. The only way to go from here is up. I just saw like they had something that I didn't. So I was willing to pay any price in order to actually obtain that knowledge. That's when new opportunities started opening up for me. Started making around like $4,000 to $6,000 a month. Learning how to actually transition from a setter to a closer was probably the biggest turnaround, because like going from a few thousand a month to 10 to 12,000 a month, I mean, that's like a game changer, especially in Bangkok. All right. Nice to meet you, Alex.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, bro. Let's start with this podcast. Oof. It might just be we're just flexing all the time, but all right, guys. So we're gonna pretend for this episode that we really don't know each other. So my name is Alex.
My name is Ryan.
And yeah, we're just gonna pretty much just get to know each other, tell our stories and how we came to Thailand a year ago, and just explain you a little bit about the crazy journey we had. So yeah, you can start if you want to just.
Yeah, so let's start like where we're from and like what we actually do. So like for me, my name is Ryan Little. I'm from Noonan, Georgia, United States, pretty much born and raised there, and just went down the normal path of like going to university, going down like just doing what everyone else was doing, and basically quit all that, went down the road of like entrepreneurship, finding out how to make money online, booked my one-way flight to Thailand. I mean, we'll get into that a little bit more later, but then basically just ended up able to make 15 to 20,000 a month with remote sales to actually provide me the ability to live the dream life that we're pretty much living right now. But what about you? Where are you from? What's your story?
Yeah, so I mean, it is a little bit similar, but also not. Like, I'm from Europe, Bulgaria, like born in like pretty normal family. I wouldn't say we were broke, but also nothing close to even like rich. Pretty like more of like lower middle class, let's say this way. My parents just had like a guest house that they just they just give rooms for rent in the summer season. So in terms of like, yeah, we just never really had any problems with money, but also at the same time never really like had like new cars. We were always like driving like super old cars for like $3,000 or $4,000 or something like that. Like nothing crazy. But around like 15, 16, that's when I started with social media. Before that, obviously I started going to the gym around like 13, 15, 16. I started with social media, but I didn't really know what I was doing. And by the time around like 18 years old, I was barely making any money because I was just so stupid. I didn't know how to monetize social media, how to build a strong brand or anything. And then I was just working normal jobs or just saving up money, and I invested in a lot of mentorships, courses. Then is when it really like took off. I started making around like $10,000-$15,000, pretty much even still in my hometown city, which I wouldn't be able to do it if I didn't invest in like mentorships and all that stuff to get the information. So that's probably the only reason that I was kind of making still good money before I even like moved my hometown, before I left my parents' house. But I think that's a pretty exceptional story, to be honest. I don't think most people will be able to make that. Wow, living with their parents and hanging around with their broke friends. So after that, I was pretty much like, moved to Thailand, and obviously just moved on my own, didn't know anybody. And a year later, so far, like 4 or 5x our income, currently making around like $40,000 to $50,000 a month. So it's not bad for like 1 year, just 4 or 5x the income. Also, Jake, my friend who I'm living with, he's also like kind of like 5x his income. When we came to Thailand, I met him like 3 months after I came to Thailand, and we started living together, and he was making around like 30,000. Now, he's hitting like $150,000, $200,000 months, which is crazy. And by the way, that's like our profit. Like, we're talking our profit, and not even, we can easily like, at least me personally, I'm set up in Dubai, so I don't even pay taxes. So it's our pure profit, whatever we talk, like numbers and things, because there's a lot like e-com or dropshipping guys, they say they made like such a big numbers, but they really like take 25-30% profits. And on top of that, they pay like 40-30% like in terms of like taxes and stuff. So they don't really make that much if we have to talk like pure profits.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, in terms of like your story, like did you go through like high school, college and stuff like that? Or like, what's your like kind of school experience and like going down and escaping that, going down the path you're on now?
Yeah, I think it's because of my parents, even though they never really had money, but they had this, this guest house, and they were never really like a 9 to 5 people. I never remember seeing my family or like any of my parents like working a normal job, like waking up, going to a 9 to 5, coming back home. Like it was completely not in my world. I never seen my parents like working a normal job. They were just not making much money because they just give some rooms for rent in the summer season, which is like 3 months. So they were all right. They were just pretty much like surviving. But the thing is, they were never like a 9 to 5 people. So I never really had that, mindset of I need to get a normal job and then do that and go to college and stuff like that. I pretty much like after I graduated and finished like high school, I just moved to Thailand. So like most of my friends, they would go to college and stuff. I just moved to Thailand.
So you're like in life university.
I thought it's just no point of going to university. I was already kind of making some money online again. So I was like, no point of just wasting my time. And to be honest, like now you just know, like in 1 year since we like travel around the world, end up living in Thailand, we just lived like a whole lifetime. Like how much things happens, we learn so much stuff, we meet with so much people. It's like we lived a whole lifetime of a normal 9 to 5 person in just 1 year.
Yeah, exactly. Like some people, what we did just this year, some people will never do in a lifetime, which is pretty insane to think about. So it's really good to be like grateful for that and stuff. So
it's fucking like, it was a crazy journey. So let's start with like, just tell your journey, like how you like moved here, with how much money you moved to Thailand, and like just what happened over.
So basically I was going to university on like a basketball scholarship, smoking, drinking, all the usual degenerate college stuff. And basically I was getting tired of it really fast because each and every week I would have to ask my parents for money for like alcohol, food and stuff like that. So I just hated doing that because I was like 19 years old and I felt like I should be making my own money, and I wasn't able to because I was in university and playing basketball, like with practice and games and stuff. So I never had the time. So basically I made a decision for myself to drop out and to go down a different route where it would provide me the ability to actually make the money I wanted to make and actually create the life that I wanted to live, because I hated the life of like going to university, becoming a degenerate and just doing what everyone else was doing, because I knew where that would end up. Like that would end up like just being trapped in a 9 to 5, building out someone else's dreams besides my own.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So dropped out. Basically the game plan was to get as rich as possible.
Yeah.
So, I mean, at the time, you're pretty retarded. Like when you go to university, you don't know that much stuff about actually how to make money.
Yeah.
So basically just started working 2 9 to 5s, working one at a gas station called a Racetrack in the US. And then the second one working at Red Lobster, which is like a restaurant. And basically the plan was just to funnel both of those incomes into day trading or like stocks and just pretty much gamble and hope for the best. And I mean, ultimately that ended up a failure because I had no idea what I was doing.
Yeah.
And from there, like just working both of those 2 9 to 5s, like back to back from like 5 a.m. until 10 p.m. at night. I mean, that's just, I burned out so fast just because I had to listen to people tell me what to do. Like go clean the bathroom, go stock the shelves. And like whenever I had to take the trash out in the morning at the gas station, I just hated the smell of the trash bag. I was like throwing it in the dumpster. I was like, man, screw this life. I got to figure out a different way.
Yeah.
So basically I quit that gas station job, and then me and my friend, we basically started this like contracting business where we installed like gutter guards for gutters. Do you know what gutters are?
No, bro.
So like basically houses back in the USA, they have like roofs, and on the side of those roofs they have like gutters which kind of catch the rainwater and debris. So with contracting, basically my friend and I just installed gutter guards that protects the gutters from getting debris inside of those gutters. So I mean, it's pretty excruciating because we had to carry 36-foot and 40-foot ladders that are like aluminum, like to get up to the gutters. So I mean, we were breaking our backs. It was super hot. We worked for like 8 to 10 hours a day. We were only making like $500 a day, which is still pretty good money. It's not bad, but it's not worth like breaking your back, working in the heat, and basically just working for someone else and just pretty much just working in hell because of the heat and the strain on your back and everything. And basically I was like, okay, well, there's got to be a better way than this. So I was like slowly leveling up, like out of the matrix, just trying to find ways to make money. And then from there, basically, I was like watching YouTube all the time, and I saw people like living it up in Koh Samui, Thailand. And I got really inspired because they were like as young as you and me. So I was like, okay, so these people, they're living my dream life. And the only thing that separates them from me is what they actually know and what knowledge that they have. So I knew if I just learned what they knew, I could apply that knowledge to my life and live that exact same life.
Yeah, that's it. It's all about like knowledge. Like most people, they think they need money to start. They think they need that and that, but it's all about just knowledge and also surrounding yourself with the right people who kind of like already make money from the thing you want to make money from. Because otherwise, you kind of don't even believe it. You just see some guys like us like talking online, and you're like,
the scam.
Is it like that? It may be like not true. Even though I don't know how they think we make money. Like we're in Thailand. Like here the average, like the normal salary is like $300-$400 a month. So there's no way we're like working here a normal job, living this lifestyle.
We're Grab drivers.
Yeah. So you just need to surround yourself with people who make 50, 100, 200K a month, and usually when you don't personally know these people, you think like these people are so smart, like so exceptional. But when you like start to hang around them and let's just get to know them, you understand they're like pretty pretty normal people, exactly like you. They're not like smarter than you or anything else. They just know something that you don't.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing else.
Yeah. So basically, after I learned what they knew, I like spent $5,000 on like a course.
Yeah.
And I've never bought any course online or anything like that. I just saw like they had something that I didn't. So I was like I was willing to pay any price in order to actually obtain that knowledge. So bought the course, figured out about remote sales and the opportunity there, and basically just learned that it was basically like influencers selling a very high ticket product to their audience. And then with remote sales, you're basically standing in the middle of that cash flow. But basically was just learning that on the side of like still doing contracting, still making like 500 a day, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less, depending on the job. And then the kind of unseeable thing happened. I crashed the truck that I was running like the gutter business with. So basically I was screwed for work. I had pretty much little to no money because I had to get a loan for the truck. It was like a $7,000 loan. So I was pretty much basically screwed. The only thing I did have was the knowledge with remote sales. So I kind of like burned the boats with the job. Like that was done. I couldn't do that anymore. So all my focus was on remote sales. So basically just had a few $100s, was putting all my time into remote sales, learning the skill, learning how to actually find an offer. And then basically I saw that everyone in that network, in that course that I bought, was living out in like Thailand. So I was like, okay, if I want to get this remote sales thing figured out as fast as possible, I need to position myself within these people so that way I can ultimately level up as fast as possible. Because like in my hometown, no one else is making money. No one else is doing really anything beneficial for their lives. They're just playing video games, smoking, going to university, working a 9 to 5. So I knew I had to change my environment to speed up the kind of route to success. So basically my whole plan was just to go to Bangkok, Thailand, surround myself with these people and just learn from them as fast as possible. So, I mean, I did just have a few $100s. And at the time, I was really good friends with this ex-drug dealer who was like really well off. He made like $300,000 a month, like in his time as like drug dealing. So basically, I was telling him about this like dream of going to Thailand and stuff. He already knew pretty much everything about that like a few weeks before. And he knew my situation about the crash truck and everything. So I was like, Ryan, look, you can ask me for a loan. It's no problem. So I was like, okay. Let me get a $1,500 loan like a year-long kind of loan, no interest. And he was like, okay, cool. So he gave me $1,500 and that's all I had to my name. I went to Bangkok, Thailand and prayed for the best. So
wow, yeah. I mean, I'm sure most of the people now watching definitely have $1,500. And they will still never like take the risk, move to like even like the city next to their, hometown or whatever. But what about like moving to the other part of the world, like completely alone? With barely no money. Obviously, you have skills, you can make money, but still, like most people would never take the risk, and that's why they just always stay in the same place, bro. Like even the people now that message me on Instagram, it's like, Alex, I want help, like stuff like that, but they never really like take any risk. They don't want to take absolutely any risk, and that's why they're just progressing so slow. They're moving the needle so slow. Most of the times, like even if you take the risk and it's the wrong decision, it's still way better than just not doing anything and just staying at the same place. Like I would just say it's just better to like fail faster and just fail as fast as possible. So you just fail, take risk, fail, wrong decision. Like if I do that, like let's say I take 10 risks and I fail 10 times in a month, I'm still gonna learn way more than you, that you're just not gonna take any risk and nothing. So at the end of the day, like even if you fail or not, if you take a risk, it's always better than just staying at the same place.
Yeah, I mean, there's no such thing as failure. Like you just said, like you just learn every time. So next time when you face that obstacle again, you know how to get around it.
Yeah, and I think it's like sooner or later, like you're gonna go through that mistakes and to that failures anyway. So it's like you either just do it right now when you're young and just spam the failures and the mistakes, like in like 1 year, 80, 90, 20, rather than playing it safe and then doing the same mistakes anyway, like when you're 23, 5 to 30. So most people, you're gonna still go through that mistakes anyway. So it doesn't really matter. But rather just do it early, faster, and then continue with the good stuff.
Yeah, and if you never take any risk at all, like towards your dreams or towards your goals, and you never actually try to improve your life to get to where you want to go, you're literally guaranteed to stay the same until you make that decision for yourself that you want to change. So
Yeah, I mean, for me, pretty much was the same. Rather than that, I was kind of like already making around $10,000 a month. So I moved to Thailand, one-way ticket flight, and completely didn't know anybody. And then I, obviously paid around like the same price as you, like $5,000-$6,000. I invested a lot of money even before that, again, for like courses, mentorships, for communities, networking, because like you have to understand, guys, that if you really want to connect with people who are on like such a high level, you need to like kind of pay to play. Like you can't just come to somebody and just say, "Oh, bro, can you please help me?" And it's like it's obviously not gonna work. Like I see a lot of guys again, like they message me that, and I'm like, I mean, bro, I'm good. Like I don't have to do anything. Or they're like, "Bro, if you're so sure that you can help me, why don't you do it for free? Then when I make it, I'm gonna give you money or something." I was like, "No, bro, like I'm good. Like I don't really care. Like why would I have to do it?" So it's like I have to like give up time from the clients that I already have who are paying me. So I have to give my attention to you who are not doing anything, not taking any risk, not like being accountable, doesn't have any skin in the game. So maybe potentially you make money and then to get like, I don't really care. Like, It's like imagine going to a millionaire and saying, "Bro, can you help me?" And then you have nothing in exchange for him. And he's like, still like, let's say, I mean, okay, I can help. And then you're like, yeah, but it's like, if you're so sure you're gonna help me, if you're so sure that you can, like, can you, help me first? When I make money, I'm gonna give you the money. And they think that that's like a good deal for you. It's like, wow, such a good deal. It's like, but it's not. Like nobody really cares. If you have nothing in exchange. So at the beginning, you just need to pay to play. That's it. Otherwise, nobody's gonna really like do much for you.
Yeah, and even if you get something for free, like say someone got your mentorship for free.
Yeah.
Basically, they're more than likely not to put in the same amount of effort that someone who paid, because like when you pay someone for something, it gives it value.
Yeah.
So like if you never pay for anything, you're not going to get that value that thing has, because if everything was free, then everything would be worthless.
Yeah. Every time, like when I was before that, like even now still I'm doing like fitness coaching, and I was coaching a lot of clients, making their training programs, meal plans and everything. And when people pay for their training program, their meal plan, they always, because they paid, now they have to like kind of forward. They're more actually like, they're going to pay more attention and they're going to actually get in shape. And every time I'm doing like a free meal plan or a training program for like a family member or something, they never get any results because they haven't paid anything. And that's why they never pay attention. And I know it's like that. And that also happens with me as well. So I was at some point, even like, if I really want to help somebody, especially if it's a family member and I really want to help him, I'm like, bro, you need to pay. Otherwise, you're not going to actually pay attention.
Because like when you pay for something, it kind of stings you a little bit, stings your bank accounts. And that sting gives you that motivation to get you to where you want to go.
And like actually act fast. Otherwise, you're just not, like I can give you the best thing, information, blueprint, step by step, exactly what to do. And just because you don't have any skin in the game, you're not going to do much. It's just how it works.
Yeah, exactly. So like in terms of like networking, like the people you're surrounded by, like how valuable is that? Like when you're kind of getting to where you want to go?
Yeah, I think that's like, the biggest thing is to just break your limiting beliefs, because a lot of people think that making $10,000 a month is a lot of money until you start hanging around with people who make $10,000 a day, and then you're like, what the fuck? And it's like your mind is completely like blown, because like you're pretty much being hanging around all day. Let's say in Thailand, you're going to that beach club, then you're like pretty much like super chill, like a vacation day, and like that person like made $20,000-$30,000 in like one day, like pretty much like our profit in front of your eyes. So you're like, shit, it's like has to do something like that. There's no way like I have to work a whole month, like 5-6 hours a day, a whole month for $10,000, and he can just make that in like it pretty much like 3 times more or whatever in like one day, barely doing any work. So it's just so much levels to the game, and most people think 10K is a lot or whatever. It's not really that much money, to be honest.
Yeah, it kind of breaks like the limiting beliefs, like 10,000 a month is pretty hard. But then you see it happen, and they're like, wow, it's actually pretty easy.
It is, yeah. So, and then the thing is, when you hang around with these people, now in your head is probably like, 10,000 a day, 200K a month. That's so much money, like. But at the same time, if you actually meet with these people and you talk with them, they're like your people that you hang around on a daily basis. Like you see that they're pretty again like normal. Like the only thing that they have is probably like better work ethic, and that's pretty much it. Like nothing really different than that. They're just pretty normal, simple people, exactly like you. So that's it. The only thing is you just need to learn what they know, and then obviously it takes some time until you like done it, practice it, and pretty much just do the volume that needs to be done, and you're gonna get results.
Because like I feel like the people who are making 100,000 a month and those who are making like 1,000 a month, they might have the same exact work ethic, but they're working in the wrong vehicle. Like they're not doing the right work in the right places. So that's a big difference.
And right now, like that's why like really like kind of feel sad, because we're like some kids in their 20s, like making like $40,000-$50,000 a month, and there's like old people who are like who actually need to make money. They're like 35, 40, 50, who have to take care of their families or their kids, and they're like working out there like a normal job, barely making any money and surviving to pay their bills, and we're like making so much money as a kids in their 20s from nothing, literally. So it's like I kind of just feel sad because they just can't get it. Like older people just can't get it how to make money nowadays, which it's just kind of sad, to be honest.
It's like the change of the times, because like this is kind of like the gold rush of our generation, like making money online. Like they just didn't have that back in their day.
And it's probably, maybe it's gonna happen even with us, like in the next 20-30 years. I think that's the biggest problem right now, is that the world is just moving so fast that if you just don't like constantly like move with the world, you're just gonna be left behind so like badly that there's no way you even come back. It's like the time is just moving faster. I see like the other day is like some guy who was some like scientist or something. He was saying that the time like starts to move faster, and then he was like asking like, there's no way, like how can the time, it always moves at the same like at the same how can I speed? The time can just move faster, but it actually can, because if you think about, let's say like 1,000 years ago, which is not even that long ago, like what happened in like 50 years, 1,000 years ago, there was barely nothing like happening. So it's like, imagine like 1 minute, the more events happen in 1 minute, pretty much the different the time goes. So it's pretty different if in 1 minute there's like one event that happens and like a million events that happen in that 1 minute. It's gonna feel like the time is pretty much moving quicker. So it's like in like 1,000 years ago, if somebody was just born and died at like 80, in these 80 years, like he would see the world by the time he was born and by the time he died, the world would pretty much be the same. There would be no change. They would still go hunt, be on the fire. Like pretty much like there would be no change from like his whole existence in like these 8 years. And now think about like our time in like the last 50 years. If you were just born 50 years ago to now, like the world is nothing like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Like we didn't even had like phones like 50 years ago, and now we have like social media and like crypto and all that stuff, DeFi, so it's like just in 50 years.
It's exponentially going quicker and quicker.
And it's gonna start to go even quicker because there's just more events happening, and the more it happens, the quicker it's gonna go. So if you just don't move with the world, you just, even if you're like whatever you're doing right now, if you're not progressing like super fast, like you're kind of still going behind, because me, you, and other people are constantly getting better, progressing with the new stuff. So if you're just staying at the same place, by default, you're kind of getting worse, Yeah,
you might get replaced by AI in the
future. So I was like, I just moved to Thailand. Obviously, start hanging around with people who make way more money, learn from them, and that took me to like 4 or 5x my income in like less than a year, to be honest. So, and even like this month alone, I was like, I've barely done any work compared to how much more work I was doing before. So it's like that was probably one of the most like chillest months. Like I've been traveling. I went to Dubai, then to Europe, then come back now to Thailand. And I was like, shit, like, I've just been living my life, like traveling around the world, barely even working that much compared to before. And I like, make the most money. It's like, what the fuck? So it's like, it's just the compound effect of doing something, not getting results, but keep doing it. And at some point, it always just pays off.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So let's see, like, what?
I'll go over like basically how I like came to Bangkok.
Yeah.
Or like the first like landing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that would be interesting.
All right. So basically, yeah, I came here with 1,500 to my name. Basically, plan was to make 10,000 a month online. That was like the first goal I kind of had in my mind.
Yeah.
And basically came here, and I turned that 1,500 all into bought like cash, like at the airport.
Yeah.
So basically, got to my Airbnb. And the first thing I did was go to like buffets and stuff. I saw something for like 1,200 baht. I'm like, oh, that's so cheap. So I got like that every day. And then like it kind of like burned a lot of money like starting off. And then the second day or the second night I was here, I met my current girlfriend, brought her over, did some cardio, of course, and basically moved into my first apartment like a week later, like from that Airbnb into my first apartment. And the rent was only like $230 a month, so it's not bad. Like I could probably survive like 2 months with the savings that I had.
Thailand is cheap, but also not at the same time. Because we see a lot of people coming here and they spend so much money so fast. Yeah. So it just depends really. It's like it's cheap, but also it's just everything is made to spend your money. Yeah. Because it's cheap, you buy so much stuff, and then you actually when you look
spend
at your
the same amount as
you're
like
like
US,
shit. I know, yeah. So I just came here, spent money super quick, rather than like. How long?
It was like Monopoly money, basically.
Okay, so you had like 1,500. How long it took you until you pretty much spent everything?
Man, like I think a month.
Yeah.
Or less.
All right.
Yeah. So basically, I went like flat broke like 3 or 4 times. And that was because the offer that I thought would do really well, because I landed my first offer before I came here. And I was like, this offer is going to make me a lot of money. Got here, made $0 like for the first month. So I'm like, well, I'm screwed. So basically, I went on a few 4-day fast. Just like drink water and just try to survive. And basically just had like that motivation to keep pushing forward because my parents were starting to worry at this point, like, Ryan, how are you going to eat? You have no money. I'm like, don't worry about it, guys. I fasted before back in America. It's a new high score this time.
So you were pretty much not eating any food for 4 days.
Yeah, like Thailand, 3 times or 4 times.
Just because you just didn't have money to buy food.
Yeah. Oh so yeah, I mean, basically, after those fasts and basically just trying to survive, I finally found my first offer as a setter, started making my first little bit of money. But I mean, those are some like pretty dark times of like being able to fast and like dark nights of like not being able to sleep because I was so hungry. But I mean, those nights kind of like looking back at it, I'm actually pretty grateful because I was able to switch my mindset from like the scarcity mindset of like, how am I going to pay for rent? How am I going to pay for my bills? How am I going to pay for food? To like, okay, I'm going through this dark time right now. I'm broke. The only way to go from here is up. So the only thing I could do is like look forward to tomorrow and for new opportunities. So that's when new opportunities started opening up for me. Landed my first offer, started making around like 4,000 to 6,000 a month. And then of course, life just kind of scaled up from there because that's all I had to focus on was remote sales. So my skills leveled up like exponentially fast, and basically just learning how to actually transition from a setter to a closer was probably the biggest turnaround because like going from like a few thousand a month to 10 to 12,000 a month. I mean, that's like a game changer, especially in Bangkok.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's it. I mean, you still scaled pretty fast. Like if you think about it, like from pretty much zero to, making 15, 20K a month in like, again, like a year. So,
yeah.
But do you think you would be able to do that if you were with the same information that but still with, living with your parents in your hometown? Or it would be like way different?
I think like I wouldn't be who I am today, of course. And basically I'd probably still be stuck as a setter.
Yeah.
Because like when you go somewhere where you're uncomfortable, where your back is against the wall, when you've burned the boats and you have nothing to lose and everything to gain, that's when you exponentially grow as a person. Because like who I am now and who I was back then is like 2 completely different people, just because of like going through those very dark times, learning how to navigate through the world, like traveling to all the countries that we've been to, that just adds so much value to you as a man.
Yeah.
Because you learn so much about the world, you gain new culture experiences, you learn more about different people and how they like act and how they think in different countries. And then you can apply that to yourself and kind of look at each different culture and each different race, and well, not each different race, but each different like
that's
kind of city. Yeah.
That's a good thing. Yeah, I mean, when you just travel, you just see, like, you kind of just live more life when you travel. I always learn way faster when I travel. It just doesn't make sense. I can't explain it why, but you just kind of like go on like side missions, and you just collect that information, met that people, did that. So it's like you always kind of develop way faster the more you travel. And if you're, you have nothing to lose, you're in your 20s, why not just travel for like 3-4 years? That's what I'll do. And then, then you can, even if you want to go to the normal job, like and stuff like that, you can do it like later on. Like you can definitely go to college at like 23, let's say, for example.
Yeah.
Like let's say you're 18, move to Thailand or move to that country, you always want to take the risk or travel around for like 3-4 years. When you're like 22, then if you want, then you can, just at least take the chance, see what happens, and then you can always go back to your normal life, normal everything. It's like most people I can understand, like they have nothing to lose. Like most of you guys have nothing to lose, and you're still like don't want to take the risk. It's like you always can go back to your normal life. Like your hometown, your parents, everything, it's still gonna always wait you there, and you can always go back there, live your comfortable life. Always can get a normal job or always go to college if you want again. So it's just, I just don't understand it. It's like they have zero risk. They have nothing to lose, and they still don't take the risk.
Yeah, I think it's because like most people are probably like so distracted by TikTok, Reels, parties, college, everything like that. So they're always like consuming things and never knowing what they truly want.
Yeah.
Because if you look down to each person, like they all probably deep down inside want to like be able to travel the world and live life on their own terms. But they're always distracted of the fact that that's not possible. Like you have to go to college to get a good money, a good 9 to 5, and that's the only route. But that's not true.
But I don't get it, like how they see so much people in social media, because that's like now the good thing is I believe social media was one of the bad and the worst things that happened, and also one of the good things because okay, it's so bad for some people, they're like addicted and obviously like completely like fuck up their life. But also you can actually, a lot of people change their lives just because they watch some video of somebody online and see that it was possible. You can see how you can live. They can watch our videos, they can follow me on Instagram, or you watch our stories, and they see every single day like how we live. And they know that we started from zero, like broke. And
like then, from where they are.
Yeah, from where they are. And then now they see on our stories on Instagram or whatever, like every single day, like how they were living. We're pretty much documenting our lives from the moment you wake up to the moment we go to bed. And they see that and they're still like, nah, it's not possible. It's not real. So it's like, at the same time, like social media, at least for the people who really believe, and they can at least like see it and kind of believe it. Because I don't remember, like imagine like 20, 30 years ago, you can't even like see
it wouldn't be possible.
Like you can't even see the what type of life you can live. Now at least you can see it. Obviously their mind is just, they have so much limiting beliefs, so much like they have no self-confidence in anything. So they truly believe that it's impossible to live that life. Yeah. But if they just knew how easy is it, like they can change their life in like 1 to 2 years. Like in 2 years, you can get in the best shape of your life. You can learn a skill. You can easily make it at least $10,000 a month online, move in some country in Asia, for example. And with $10,000, you can live like a king. You can get like
you can ball out of control.
Live your dream life in your dream shape, surrounded by brothers, by people on the same journey, live in a tropical country, and like you can do that in like a year or two. So it's like I don't understand how people like just don't take.
They settle for mediocrity.
Yeah, obviously I would recommend, if I need to be honest, to first invest in some skills and build the type of person before you kind of move to another country. So if you're that scared of like taking the risk to move to some country or some other place, or I just then use that money, invest it in skills, in mentorships, in courses, in networks, in books, learn something. And as soon as you start making that first $2,000-$3,000, then you can obviously take the risk and move to that country or that place or wherever you want to move. So I think that's still like pretty much a risk-free way. The only thing that they need to risk is to somehow find a way to connect with somebody who can help them. Obviously, the only way you can provide value to somebody who is here and you're here is the only way is to just need to pay to play. obviously, it's like a double-edged sword because there's a lot of people online who are just fucking up people, making pretty much like some fake courses about trading pretty much most of the times, or e-com or drug. I don't really know. Obviously you can make money from these things. I never made money from none of these things, but most people, let's be honest, like I always like to say, it's like if there's somebody on social media, most of the times that's like how they're making a big part of their money. It's from social media.
Yeah, like businesses never fail. It's the people that fail.
Yeah. So I'll just say, if you really want to, network, I think and surround yourself with good people, is you need to first build yourself, which means you need to still be making like 5-10K a month. You need to be in a good shape. You need to be a person who is worth like respecting. Otherwise, like nobody is gonna hang around with you. Like especially like if you don't make like 5-10K a month, like you're probably not gonna hang around with you. If you're not in a good shape, if you can't fight, if you're like some kind of weird guy, you're just really not gonna hang around with you. So it's like you just need to build that person at least from level 1, go to like level 3, 4, until then you start hanging around with like people who are way hard. So in order to do that, you need to go to the gym, get in shape, and pretty much like invest a couple $1,000 in some mentorships with people who can teach you, then implement that, start making your first 5-10K a month, and then you can move on, meet with other people, and then scale from 10K to 100K. Because I think the only way to like 10K is pretty easy. I think you can still do it like in your hometown.
Took like a few months.
Yeah. In your hometown, living with your parents, you can still do it. But like 100K a month, you can't. Really. You need to surround yourself with people who are already making even way more than 100K. And you need to see it in front of your eyes, see how they're doing it, because it's a kind of big jump, and most of the time it's just like a limiting belief that you have in your mind. So I think like you need to hang around with people who make that much already in order to kind of make it. Otherwise, super low chance.
Like what you said as well, like becoming the person that's able to actually make it out in the world is very important, because let's just say like an undisciplined guy who always gives into pleasure, always goes out to drink, party, and never is like self-disciplined to do what needs to be done in order to move the needle towards where he wants to go. Let's just say like that undisciplined guy moved to Bangkok. Guess what? He's going to go out every night, drink, smoke weed, because that's readily available everywhere, like within 50 meters. He's basically going to go down a very dark path towards like self-destruction, giving into pleasure, and basically just destroying himself. So just getting that basic self-discipline, getting those basic foundations set before you actually go out there is very important. Or else you're just going to ultimately fail miserably.
A lot of people like come here in Thailand to like find themselves, to succeed in life and like make it in life. But if you're like, still have the bad habits from, when you were like drinking, partying and stuff like that, and you come to Thailand to like find yourself, you're going to
just amplifies that.
Find the worst version of yourself here. So I see it all the time, and we've seen it like so much times, like people coming to Thailand with like $5,000-$10,000 and like trying to make it, and pretty much just spend all the money in like 2-3 months on like partying, girls and stuff, and go back home.
It was like a reality TV show, like in like last August, September, October. Like people would come, we're like, okay, who's gonna leave? And then people start leaving. I knew he was gonna leave.
We see so much people like just coming, spending 5-10K super fast, going back home. And it's like they just come here and they haven't built even like the small simple discipline. That's like how they need it, to not like go on dates every night with girls, like party, go to the islands and chill on the beach all day. If they didn't do that, they would have probably like had way hard chance of starting to make money. But they just come here, spend their money pretty much like a crazy holiday, trying to escape their normal life, and now they go back. And I think now it's even worse, because now you're like you're just fucking like
like you're in hell, and then you go to heaven, you see what it's like, and you just go back down.
I mean, it's just you just need to have the discipline, especially in Thailand. I don't know in like other places, but obviously in Thailand it's pretty crazy, especially with the girls, because a lot of guys, if you're kind of like a normal guy, kind of like a loser, and you obviously didn't had that much success with girls back in your hometown, if you come to Thailand and you're like a foreigner, you're just tall guy, like a little bit muscular, white guy, like that's enough here, you don't even need to be rich.
That's all there is.
That's how it is here in Thailand. So it's like, because of that, you're gonna start dating girls, going out and stuff, and it's because it's like easier, you're gonna really be like, oh shit, and then that's it. You're gonna waste so much time and energy, waste all your money, and go back home.
Exactly. And I mean, like with the girl that I had, I went flat broke a few times, but like she was actually a really good girl. Like she like bought me coffees and stuff. So like, W girl. So
Yeah.
it's good. It's good to like meet a girl at the bottom if you're disciplined and if you have a goal, and kind of keep her at your side until you make it, and then you can give her the world. That's also pretty powerful as well.
Yeah, I mean, I never like really like had a like serious girlfriend before I was like making 10K a month. To be honest, I mean, I think most people will probably. I would say it's way safer to just not look at dating no girls until you kind of make that money first.
Exactly.
I think it's gonna be way better, to be honest, because for me it's like at like 15, 16, 17, that was when I was like partying and like going crazy and stuff, and at 18, 19 is when I kind of like walked in, and that's when I started making money. But even before that, when I was partying and stuff, I never really like had a girlfriend. I was just kind of just distracting and stuff like that. But yeah, I think if you're a young guy and you don't have any like nothing exceptional, like you're not in a good shape, you're not making any money, it's like
it's like not worth it right now.
Yeah, just focus on that first. Like create like a type of man that girls would just like to be with, because right now the competition is like literally nothing.
Yeah.
Like the other day I went, I just wanted to just get Tinder on my phone, just downloaded Tinder on my girlfriend phone, and I just downloaded like type everything, and I selected that I was like a girl, so I can just see like the guys there, and I was just swiping for like 10-15 minutes. There was like not one guy who was like anything close to us, like not like I'm not talking like forget money, forget that, like they are just like complete like losers, like completely no physique, no body, like nothing, like literally like it's like no competition. Like I was swiping so much, and then like most guys, they don't understand that girls are like so fucked up nowadays. Like there's no good guys, they're so hard to find a guy who is like kind of good looking, in shape, who can fight and who can make money, pretty much like travel around the world. Like there's no way they
it's like 0.001%.
I mean, that's why I just like made the title the 1% here, and even it's like way less than 1%, to be honest. So it's like how much guys are like in shape, young, good looking, without a girlfriend, because like all these people, let's say now me and you, we already have a girlfriend. So they're fucked. So it's even there's like a less than 1% guys who are like that, like they already have a girlfriend. So all the other girls are just fucked.
And they're waiting for you guys.
Yeah, and it's just so literally no competition. And it's like nowadays, if you just go to the gym, like have a alright physique, like learn how to fight, make like $10,000 a month, it's like that's it. Like you're gonna have no problems with girls.
Yeah, once you have that resume, the girls are like, I'll apply.
Yeah, it's like it's just so hard. It's like, and they're like never gonna. You'll be able to do so much stuff, and girls will still kind of like accept it. Than if you're a normal guy, like the smallest mistake you make, they'll be like and they just leave you. But if you're like a guy who is like so hard to replace, which I think is the point, to become the type of man who is so hard to replace, pretty much like she'll probably never find like that guy again. It's like a watery. So it's like she will do so much more things for you, and also you can make a lot more mistakes, and she'll still like be like, all right,
She'll be like, I forgive you.
Yeah. Because it's like but yeah, it's just don't focus on girls really. I think even before, like at least before 20, bro. I don't.
Yeah, it's like what they say, like don't chase butterflies, like create the garden that attracts the butterflies. So it's like the same thing with girls.
Yeah, it's just so hard to like get it, especially if you're like 16, 17. You're just not gonna get it. Yeah. Obviously, like when we were saying don't chase girls, that doesn't mean you should just be playing video games out there and sitting in your room and just like not socializing. Like you should be socializing all the time, going out, going to different cities, even around your area, meeting with new people online also. But just like going to the gym, fight, learn how to fight, everything. Like you should be socializing, communicating with people, but just don't really like go on dates every weekend. Don't really like spend so much time with like a girl that consumes like 50% of your energy, or especially like partying and stuff like that. It's like, that's just no point. Like for me at that point, like anything that doesn't gets me closer to my goals. If there's anything that I'm doing that's not making me closer to become better to my goals, I'm just not doing it. Like now we started waking up at like 3 a.m. and then it's like I was just like, people are asking me like, okay, for how long are you gonna wake up at 3 a.m.? I'm like, probably for the rest of my life. It's like why would I not? Like what else I'm gonna do? Is like after 6-7 p.m. just like watch Netflix, chill with my girl, or go on dates, go out, party, drink, and all that stuff. Like I'm not really interested at all. Like the only thing that I'm interested is it's just getting better. So if waking up at 3 a.m. it's gonna help me with that, so why not do it for the rest of my life?
Yeah, it's such a good time to focus as well because like we're the only ones up, and then our girlfriends are sleeping. So like, oh, we can just work for like 8 hours until they wake up.
Yeah,
There's like 8 hours of free time to actually focus on what we need to get done.
Yeah.
So it's very powerful.
And what do you think about like living? Okay, let's say now, okay, when you're younger, you focus on yourself. At least you build some physique, make 5-10K a month, then you get a girlfriend. Let's say, what do you think about like living with your girlfriend? Because I've never really done it, but you had a period when you've done it, so you can tell me.
Yeah, I mean, so she was like on a break, like summer break for university, so she was basically just living with me. And I mean, there's pros and cons because of course she's always going to be there. You always have someone by your side. But then the con of that is like she always wants your attention. So like you can never really like go into isolation to see like if you're doing the right things or wrong things. And you also don't have that much time to kind of grind for like hours on end each and every day because then she'll kind of want some attention. But then on the other hand, she like cleans, cooks, does the laundry. So she keeps the place tidy and like keeps the mind space clear because like once everything's clean, you have nothing else to worry about. You can focus on what needs to be done. So there's like pros and cons.
Yeah.
But I think it's better to like not have a girl live with you, especially in your 20s. So that way you can kind of go travel, go with your bros, go to different places. So that way you kind of branch out and gain new experiences that you can add value to yourself. So
yeah,
I definitely wouldn't recommend it for sure.
Yeah. And especially if you've never been in a relationship before, it's not going to be a good idea. Like you need to have so much experience with girls and dating before you kind of like consider living like with a girl. And I think it's just not a good idea, first of all, to work. And second of all, just for like both of us, it's like, I feel like it's kind of like this secret, how can I say, it's like,
like the discipline?
No, it's not like with a discipline, but usually like at the beginning when like a girl doesn't know you well, like she doesn't know what you're doing, like it's like, how is your day to day look like? And now when you're living with her, it's like, you just see whatever you are. So it's just like, it's just, I think it's way better to like see each other's maybe 1-2 times a week because right, like that, like in her mind, you're like probably like way better version. So whatever you are, like she's always going to think you're way better. If
it's like mysterious.
Yeah, way more mysterious, And it's like when you start living together, like everything kind of just breaks. So I think it's for the health of a relationship, it's always better to just not live together, beat each other's.
Because it's kind of like a magnet. Like the closer it is together, it kind of loses its like magnetism. So like when you go apart, it builds up. Go back together, lose it.
It's like kind of really good. Going on like first dates. Like it's way different than if you're like living together, you go out, it's kind of like, you just go out with your friends. Like, But if you're like kind of not see each other for like 5 days and you go out, it's like a kind of going on a first date again. It's like, it's also, they like it way more as well. And also it saves you time. So you're more focused. You can work harder. Because in the morning, let's be honest, it's like, now we're waking up at 3 a.m. Sometimes, there's girls staying over, but it's like if we don't keep each other accountable, it's gonna be like so hard to like actually wake up at 3 a.m. when you're like sometimes 3-4 hours of sleep. Wake up at 3 a.m. and there's a girl next to you. It's like so hard to wake
it's like,
up.
I'll just sleep and cuddle a little bit more.
It's just like if you just live with your girlfriend, you're just gonna get so comfortable. Pretty much become kind of like her.
Yeah, and then comfort kills the dreams. So you can't stay comfortable.
The only way I would live with girls is if I also live with other guys as well. So it's like sometimes like that happens here because we got this super big penthouse in Bangkok. So at some point we were like 3 guys and like let's say my girlfriend, their girlfriend. So it's like we live like 6 people in like a 5-bedroom penthouse. So it's like it's still way better because even if there's like one guy there, it can be just you, some of your friend, and then his girlfriend or whatever. Is like as long as there's like one guy to keep you accountable, it's all right. But as long as as soon as you and your girlfriend, it just
goes downhill for you fast.
You get so comfortable. You just find yourself watching Netflix and like eating pizza, and you're like, shit, what am I doing?
You're down there.
Go back to like level 1, worse than when I was 13 playing video games all day.
I mean, it's like you said, like yesterday, it's like the dream life. You're living the dream life that's amplified. Like you're playing video games. Pretty much just with your girlfriend, and that's all you do.
You're just living your dream life as a kid. It's like and then like the other day, literally, so it's like we have like I was just literally like looking at and it's like you're just on the couch with your girl, like playing something on the PS5 and like with the 100-inch TV in this penthouse and everything. And I was like, if we were kids, and you just look how we live like now, it would be like probably the best life.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
have a hot girlfriend, you have a 100-inch TV, you have a PS5, you're playing your video games, you're living in that penthouse. It's like the dream life of every kid, like the dream life we always wanted. And now we're living it, and we're like completely like kind of like don't give a fuck. It's like we just want to hit like 100K one, 200K one. So it's like you just really like always want to, you know,
like reach new heights.
Yeah, I always want to reach new heights, and you can really like enjoy the journey, appreciate the moment. And that's like the thing that when I was making like at the beginning, like when my life was just not going the way that I wanted, I was so angry and mad about life that it was just not going the way that I want. And I see other people are doing it, and I'm like, shit, I'm working so hard and everything is like, it's still nothing is happening. And I was like so angry and like such a bad mood and like such a bad vibe that because of that, I can't really get to that life. Like most people don't understand. It's like, they're like, oh yeah, but when I get rich, when I have money and when I move there, then I'm going to be happy in a good vibe. But it's like, no, it's like you need to first be in that state of mind, in that mood to like attract that life. Like you can't, you know, like
it's not the other way
Yeah,
around.
it's not the other way. You need to first become the type of person and everything. Like if you want to be a millionaire or be rich, you need to, you know what they know. You need to talk like them, walk like them, think like them, have the same habits, the same routines, absolutely everything. You need to like have the same self-confidence, everything needs to be the same, like somebody who is rich before you even like making any money. Like that's the thing. It's like, it's more about like not how, but like who you are.
Yeah, it's like becoming the person and then reality molding to fit that person.
It is gonna happen by default. I think that's why it's so much easier than most people think.
Yeah.
It's like just focus on, you know, kind of becoming the type of person who can make anything no matter what.
Yeah.
Because there's like a lot of people now who like join my coaching program, and there's like two types of people. Like sometimes there's like somebody who is like a complete loser, and then he comes to me like, bro, you're really like probably not gonna make it. Like if you don't have no discipline, I can just see it from your like profile picture. There's no point of me like taking your money and like joining and stuff. And they're like, no, bro, I'm really like gonna do it. And like sometimes like I let them join in, and they really don't get any results. So it's like same people like join. I give them the same blueprint, the same information. The one is a loser and he doesn't do anything, and he doesn't apply anything, doesn't take any action, doesn't do enough volume, and he completely gets no results. And the other person who I literally told the same thing, the same blueprint, he started taking action. So he started like, you know, making money in the first month. The other guy, nothing. So it's like how about like who you are at the beginning. So if you're not the right person who can follow any blueprint and make it happen, it's just not gonna work.
Yeah, like you can give two different people the same exact tools in order to succeed, but then those two people will use those tools so much differently.
Yeah.
One will fail, one will make it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
such a big difference. It's like even let's say you maybe like both of them start making 2-3K a month. The other guy would probably like start to get comfortable, or at like 10K start to get comfortable. But the other guy is like just keep going. So it's like he's not gonna start like now living the life and everything like partying and stuff and like go back again. You just keep pushing and pushing and pushing. Like that was also for me, like when I was doing 10K months, I was like, we live pretty comfortable life. You know, I was starting to like go down a little bit. Like most people think that you just go up, but it's so hard. Even like making 10K a month, you still don't even have the right mindset yet. Like you still get comfortable. You're still like have bad habits and stuff. But if you want to like go to the next level, you really need to like be perfect in our areas.
Yeah.
Like everything needs to be perfect from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed. Has to be nothing that you do, even for a minute, that is not getting you closer to your goals. Pretty much nothing.
Yeah, that's why like reflection and like writing down what you're doing every day is very important, because a lot of the time you don't even know that you have bad habits until you look at your life from like a reflection standpoint, or like a third person point of view, to see like what inputs you're doing every day, what outputs are coming out of that, and fixing those inputs so you get the right ones in that get you to the outcome that you actually want to get to.
Yeah, that's also a big thing. Is like most people know, okay, I'm gonna have the right habits and the mindset and the work ethic, but they have completely no idea why is that. Yeah. Like they have no idea like what, like how bad their day-to-day like life looks like. Actually, like how bad their current habits are. Yeah. They can't even understand it. It's like if they spend like a week with us, like it will completely like change their life. Just not even talking, just walking how we kind of operate, and like how we work, our habits, like how we do from the moment we wake up to the moment we go to bed, it would like completely change their life. Be like, shit. It's like my day is like nothing like that. So it's like, how about like the smallest things that kind of matter, just the smallest habits, just compounding. So they don't even realize how bad like, you know, their their habits are, how bad they're living right now. So that's why they're just progressing so slow, moving the needle so slow. Again, not taking action, not doing much, scared of failure, even though they have nothing to lose.
Yeah.
They're literally
I think they're like stuck in comfort. They don't want to get into the uncomfortable place where they're making changes. Like they're just addicted to comfort, because that's like the human's biggest fear is change.
Yeah.
So once people actually decide for themselves that they want to change themselves, then their lives will change following that. But until then, your life is literally going to be the exact same.
Yeah.
Staying in comfort, being complacent, and not just doing what you need to do in order to make it. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's why a majority of people just are stuck for their entirety of their lives, because they're just so used to suffering. They're so used to comfort that that's all they know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you need to change.
Yeah. Like even if you're broke, that doesn't mean you're not comfortable. Like most people think that because they're broke, their life is uncomfortable, but it's not really. Like you can be broke, hard work, and still kind of have no stress and live comfortably. Then somebody who is like extremely rich, but he have so much more things to take care of, his business, his people, his team, so much more responsibility. So he might make like millions a month, but he's like living way more uncomfortable and way more stressed life than somebody who is broke. Like the other day when I was like running in the park, there's like some, homeless people, and they're just chilling and sleeping under the tree on the park. And I'm even like watching sometimes with them like, bro, I wish I actually was that chill. Like I wish I can just go to the park and sleep under the tree, it would be so good, But you just have so much things going on in your life. Like you need to fix that problem and this and that business, make that money, do that. So even though you're making a lot of money, your life is still way more uncomfortable. You're waking up at 3 a.m., like barely sleeping, working, training to the gym, doing all that stuff. Even though we make so much money, we still live way more uncomfortable life than like harder life than like a homeless person.
Yeah, exactly.
So like it doesn't like how much you can be the brokest person in the world and still kind of live comfortable. So that have nothing to do. You just need to force yourself to like get out of the comfort zone, which the easiest thing is for me is to just move out from your hometown,
expand your horizons.
Yeah, that's probably the easiest way to just do it, because like I can't really tell somebody, okay, how you should, like that's the biggest jump you need to make. I think if you really want to like make it like fast in like a year or two, it's gonna be hard to do it in your hometown, with your parents' house, with your old friends. Like most people, they like want to make it so fast in life, but at the same time, they still live with their parents. They still hang around with exactly the same broke friends that they know since they're a kid. They have nothing exceptional in their friends, so it's like their friends are not in exceptional shape. They're not making any exceptional amount of money, and they want to be like exceptional themselves. So like, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and I think we do have to go to that dinner right in like 20 minutes. So I mean, right now let's just kind of go over like what we do, how we actually help people to actually get to their dream life. So like, kind of explain in like 30 seconds to like 40 seconds, like what you do and like how you actually make money and how you actually operate in your business and help other people kind of get to where you are today.
Yeah, so I've been doing social media again. Like all of the money I've made in my life it just came from social media, nothing else. And like all I needed was, just a phone and Wi-Fi, like completely nothing. I think that's like also a good thing is it's free to post on social media. So it's like all you need is a phone and Wi-Fi. The camera on your phone is completely good. So that's exactly how I started. There's no other investments that you need to make. And now I just been making money from social media, from my personal brand for like well over like 3-4 years. Even though at the beginning I had a lot of followers, like I had 100K followers. I knew how to go viral, how to attract people, but I didn't know how to like make a strong brand and how to set up the things in a way where, the brand is way stronger. And then I didn't know how to exactly sell and monetize the traffic. So as soon as like invested in other mentors and courses and stuff and start hanging around with people who make like already 100K a month from that, I just learned the thing. I already had the traffic, even though if I didn't have it, it's like, for example, with you still started making money so fast with that. So it's like, I just learned how to monetize the traffic, and like pretty much not making any money from that in like 3 years. In like 1 year, made like more than $10,000 a month, and like a year later now making like 40-50K a month. So it's like from 0 to like 50K a month in like 2 years. So it's like pretty much like crazy, And like I've went with that, but if I knew whatever I know now, and if I now start from scratch, it will be way faster, probably like 3-6 months. Like with you, for example, like you started your social media like like 2-3 months ago, like more like seriously when we were in Dubai and stuff. To like I told you like what to post, what to do, and like you still how much money you made, like even with
I think like close to 5,000 or 6,000 now.
Yeah, with like account with like 1,000 followers that you've built in like 2 months or whatever. So it's like so easy. Most people can't really get it. You don't really need that much followers. All you need is to like the strength of the personal brand have nothing to do with how much followers you have. So the only difference is like the most followers you have, the more traffic you get, which means you can make more money. But like you can easily make like like $10,000 a month with like 2,000 followers, 3,000 followers, which you can easily do in like 3 months.
Yeah. So, I mean, if like people want to learn how to do this for themselves, like how do they get in contact with you? Like how do they actually get to learn from you?
Yeah. So if you're somebody who is already doing social media, especially maybe not making money or making 2-3K and you want to do like 10, 20, 30K a month, just send me a DM. I can easily help you, give you my content strategy, tell you even like if you're a complete beginner, tell you what niches to pick, what are the best niches, what to talk about, give you my content strategy, and you just start doing it. And then in like a couple of months, you have a couple of thousand followers, and I'll teach you how to like monetize the traffic. So all you need to do is you need to know how to make viral content, get organic traffic, followers who really trust you, because that's the thing is it's way easier to sell anything if these people trust you than if you just do any type of business. So if you know how to build a strong brand, even with like a couple thousand followers, you make so much money. And like in easy, like most people, they're like, what am I gonna sell? It's like, that's the easy part. Like that's like the easiest part that I'm gonna help you with is to create your offer and tell you what to sell exactly. And it's not gonna cost you any money to create it. Like that's actually the easier part. The hardest part is getting the traffic and building that followers who really likes you, who want to just give you money. Like most people don't understand like the power of social media and the personal brand. Like I've had so much times people who, it's like for my fitness coaching program, it's like, but it costs like $1,000. For example, when I was like a year ago, it's like, bro, I'll give you 2K. It's like, they like it. They just want to give you money. It's like, that's the power of like the brand, like of a personal brand is you. It's like people like you so much, even though you don't provide the best service, probably you like your fitness coaching or your training meal plan, it's not different than any other, but they'll want to buy from you on a higher price just because it's you. So it's like that's the thing. So it's like there's really also no competition in that, and that's why I'm teaching people how to do it, because I can't really create competition, because some people they'll fuck with my personality or whatever and they'll want to buy from me. Some people will fuck with your personality and they want to buy from you and never from me. And some people from like the viewer right now, it doesn't matter who you are as a person, there's like type of people in the world right now who just like their type of personality, the way they talk, they speak, whatever. So they'll just never buy from me or you. They'll just go to you and give you money from your service or whatever product I can easily also help you create. So it is by far probably the best way to make money. Like see how these gurus, like I don't want to say names, like online, like teaching all these different methods to make money online, but the main source of income they have is through social media. Like nobody is really gonna put so much effort into making content online, into videos, if that's not how they're making like 95% of their money.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
People just don't get it. It's like they're making all of their money selling courses about, let's say, trading or drop shipping, but in reality, they don't make any money from that. They make 95% of social media sponsorships, selling the courses and from building their personal brand actually. But instead of them like telling people like exactly how they make money, they tell them this thing, but they're doing completely different thing. And that's why there's like such a bad kind of environment. It's like this guy is a scammer or that is that. It's not really. It's just like most people are kind of blind and they just instead of like seeing what other people are doing and doing the same, they just do whatever like this guy told them, which is easier. I could have easily now tell them like, I make money from trading. I just sit on the beach and I just trade. I can teach you, bro. And then I'll make more money from that probably, because people are that stupid. So most of the times it's like people's fault. They want the easiest way to make money. So if I now tell them the truth, I make money from social media, that's how I can help you. But I'm not like gonna get that much people or like be like, okay, bro. But it's like, now I need to make content. I need to put the camera in. It's like, even though it's like literally the best way by far to make money right now, they'll just not do it because it sounds harder, even though it's not. It sounds way harder than just trading and like just typing something. Like,
clicking one button, bam, 10K a month.
It is just not real, I think it's way harder to do that than, just building a business, it's way easier. Then like trading and crypto and all that stuff, you're really not like learning anything. Like you're not socializing. You don't really have any income or anything. But yeah, tell other people like, what are you doing? Because pretty much kind of like also not right now doing what I'm doing, but also doing what you used to do before and now as well. So tell them like what you did.
So basically, like with remote sales, like it's pretty much similar to personal brand and everything like that, because there's like tons of influencers out there selling a high ticket product of like 2,000, 5,000, 10,000, and they're selling to the audience because a lot of people in this day and age, they're figuring out that college is pretty much a scam because it's teaching you skills that everyone else is knowing. So everyone's going to be making the same amount of money, and you're pretty much going to be working a 9 to 5 for your entire life, unless you learn a very valuable skill.
Yeah.
So with that knowledge, these people are looking to learn a very high income skill online. So that way they can separate themselves from everyone else who's learning the exact same skills. So when they're looking for these like very valuable skills online, they find these influencers who are like posting content all the time with like personal brand. And basically they want to learn from these influencers online. And with remote sales, you're basically standing right in the middle of that cash flow. So basically there's like appointment setters, closers, growth operators, CSOs, and they all have different roles with remote sales. And it's kind of just moving up the ladder in order to like increase your like skill set in order to increase your income.
Yeah.
But basically I just help people make 10,000 a month anywhere in the world with remote sales. And that just means basically like working with people one-on-one who actually do want to travel the world, make money online, and truly live life on their own terms. That's why I kind of call my like mentorship living unchained, because you're breaking free of the chains of like the old reality of like working the 9 to 5, going to university, just living the normal life and actually living life on your own terms.
Yeah.
So basically what I do, I like work with people who are very interested in actually doing the exact same thing as me one-on-one. And I hold them, I hold their hand through the entire process to at least get them to 10,000 a month, because I mean, as you can probably agree, like 10,000 a month is like the bare minimum every man should be making in order to actually live life on his own terms.
And even in like US, if you're from US and you have to pay taxes and all that stuff, and you live in like a place where you have more expenses, and if you really want to have like also like a girlfriend, or especially later on like family and kids, like 10K, like after taxes, like 6, probably get like 6, and like when you have girlfriend, even like it's just literally nothing.
It's like 2K profit.
You're still like doing nothing.
So like if you guys do want to learn remote sales, you want to learn like the basic skill of sales and then translating that ability online to sell for big influencers across the world, you can just hit me up on Instagram in the bio below, and we can kind of talk on there, see if you're a good fit. Because I mean, I've had to turn a few people away just because they're not where they need to be in terms of like their discipline. Maybe they don't even speak English, or maybe they don't have the right mindset in order to make it. So I have had to turn just a few people away. But I mean, if you are a right fit, then we can work one-on-one to at least get you to 10,000 a month, and of course, scaling up from there.
Yeah, same for me. Just shoot me a DM on Instagram. I personally respond to all my DMs. So just don't lose my time really, because I don't really have to like, explain you exactly everything. So it's like, if you get it, then join. I can guarantee I'll help you. But if you don't really get it and don't understand it, then
it's gonna be a waste of time.
Maybe watch more of my videos to understand more. And whenever you feel that that's the right thing, then reach out to me, and like, because I respond personally to every DM. I don't have time to like, every single day that's exactly how I make money, blah blah blah. Like if you don't really know how to make money from your personal brand, from your social media, like then like don't really like message me if you're not kind of like aware of like how the things works. At least like some simple knowledge. So that's why I kind of choose to like work with people who already have some experience with doing social media or personal branding, or any type of like coaches, fitness coaches mainly as well, or any other servers they want to sell. It's like just super simple. When like a lot of people, always like talking like, but this making money online, it's not gonna be forever, or like social media, it's not gonna be forever. I'm like, bro, there's no way like people are like less addicted to their phones and social media in the next 5 to 10 years. It's
gonna keep getting worse.
It's gonna keep getting worse, which means we're gonna keep making more money. So it's like you either join us and position yourself in the right things, as you still can right now. There's still time to do it. I don't think like in 2 years, like the people who are kind of like making money online, especially from social media, and build their brand and their followers, it will be so much harder for the new people to start, like so much harder.
I mean, and time is of the essence, because let's just say 5 years from now, everyone's already figuring this out. So like the earlier you get in, the more of a leverage you have to be ahead of everyone else. So the longer you wait, the more chance you have at failure, because everyone else is going to start doing this. People are waking up to the fact that college is a scam. The 9 to 5 is not something that you just have to settle for. There's a whole life ahead of you that you can create. It's just up to you whether or not you want to make the change or not. So if you do want to live life on your terms, the only time to act is right now, not in 5 years, not in 10 years, because money isn't your most valuable asset. Your time is, because you can always make more money. You can always go back to the 9 to 5, but you'll never get that time back. So it's always important to take essence of the time that you have right now and apply yourself.
Yeah, that's it, bro. You said it better. So that's it. Let's go eat dinner. We have to do dinner. It's a good one, brother.
Yeah, good one.
Our both Instagrams are gonna be under the description. If you want to contact us, just follow us. Watch the grinding, because we're now still been working harder and grinding harder than ever before. Even though we're we're still not getting comfortable. So if you want, guys, some daily motivation, we're literally documenting our whole lives on Instagram pretty much. So,
like from the morning to the night. So you can see us wake up at 3 a.m. every day, doing 30 burpees, and going about the rest of your day, conquering the day.
Yeah, that enough. What we're doing for free enough is we should be even charging people for that.
Yeah.
Like they can get so much value just
$5 per story.
Watching our video. Yeah, literally. Yeah. But it's we don't really care. So, I mean, that's it. And
See you guys.
See you guys.